Hey Melvin, how are you today? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. So great to meet you. Boy, were you ever great on this series? I binged the 6 episodes that I was given, so I can't wait to finish it. But congratulations to you. And I want to ask you, Leanne Moriarty, she's the best beach read there is out there. When you got the role, did you find that you needed to read the book, or were you even familiar with it before?
No, I wasn't familiar with it before. I don't think it was released much more before the book. I think it was written. It was written to be turned into a screenplay.
Yeah.
Uh, but I read it afterwards. I was kind of hesitant before because I heard it was so different, and I didn't want to get caught up in what was in the book and what Ben was versus what I would bring to it. But after I felt like I had a good take on what I wanted to do with Ben, I went through it and I found I just found things that I could take from the story.
Yeah.
We were the things for our relationship, rather than us create a marriage. Leanne did the work for us. She told us what we were before, and you know what I mean. It went into greater detail in the book than what it did in the script of their backstory.
Right, right. And we don't want to give away too much about what's
Yeah.
going on. But I was saying, I just spoke to Grace, and we're saying, like, who has the worst trauma, do you think, out of this group? I mean, everyone is just has, they one up each other. What do you think?
Oh man, they got some. I feel like I have the least trauma out of everyone.
Yeah.
It might be between.
It's a tough one, huh?
Tough. It's tough. They're so different. Um, One of the lines of the show is what is it? I can't even think of it. But one of the characters spoke to another character's problem.
Yeah.
You can't trivialize our problems. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't because it's worse than mine because you don't know what I'm dealing with internally. And throughout the show, we see that what that person is dealing with is just as traumatic as what this person is dealing with. And what that person, everyone, like you said, is, I wouldn't say one up, but it's like they're all calling. You know what I mean? I'll
Yeah.
call, I'll call. Is that the right poker term?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I'm not a big poker player, but it works. It works for me, my friend. Now you get on this set, and let's just talk about the pedigree of actors that you get to work with. I mean, you've had some good people to work with over the years. There's no question. But you get on this set, and it is like the creme de la creme. How do
Yeah.
you feel on that first day, Melvin, when you look around and you see Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy, Luke Evans, Michael Shannon, et cetera, et cetera? What is that like for a young actor like you? And what do you take from these people?
It was great. It was like a master class. I tried to take away everything I could. I tried to, just dig for as many gems as possible. I don't mind asking questions, especially for people, to people I admire and people that have had longevity. You know what I mean, throughout the thing, because that's what I strive to have throughout it. So for me to be there and not ask questions, I feel like be a disservice to myself. So I asked a lot of questions, and I learned a lot off camera, on camera. It was a great experience. I couldn't ask for a better experience. Like you said, I've had an opportunity to work with great actors, but it'll just be one. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
One. Here I had so many.
yeah. It's so cool to watch all of you and how, and I was saying too that when you go on vacation or when you go anywhere, of course you're going to meet strangers. And after a week of being together on a location or wherever, you become almost a family.
Yeah.
And in this, in the show, we see that these people have something in common that binds them, and they become close. I can't imagine that didn't kind of rub off in real life with all of you as actors, becoming almost like a family on this set. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it did. It wasn't like any other experience where you have these actors who are forced to work together, but they go home and they go back to their lives. We were in Australia. We had a few Australian castmates, but it was quarantine. We were kind of just isolated in this small town to the point where, we'd be riding down the street and I see Michael Shannon riding on his bike, hair blowing in the wind. I'm going on a hike and I see Luke Evans, you know, walking up the trail. I'm eating with Samara and Melissa McCarthy's behind me. I'm getting breakfast with my fiance and my baby, and I see Bobby Cannavale buying a hat across the street. I mean,
Right.
it's like a small community. And it was great on set. The first thing we shot was all of the group scenes. So we just kind of built a great camaraderie to the point where we really missed it. Like when we weren't shooting with one another as a group, it was just like, oh man, something's missing. Like we looked forward to the days where we could all film together, because when we
Yeah.
weren't, which was exciting, we would just all chill together, hang out, and just talk about everything.
Tell me a bit about developing your chemistry too with Samara, because of course you play a married couple who, as we meet you, you're driving in and there's a little bit of tension there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, whatever, things happen. But you have a good chemistry. Was that instant with the two of you?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like from the first time we kind of just Skype, we were just kind of open to receive one another. I feel like a big thing with chemistry is kind of just being transparent.
Yeah.
Meet someone that's like, oh, I feel like I've known you for years, just because they're kind of just open. A lot of times we feel like we have to put out an image of how we want people to receive us, a representative version of ourselves. But neither one of us, I feel like, did that. We were just kind of just open to one another. Felt like we got to know each other very, very fast. And from there, we were able to just, you know, do our work and discover who the characters are and build their chemistry from there. And we had time too, because we shot out of order. Like I said, we shot a lot of the group scenes first.
Right.
So, you know, we had a chance to figure out who our characters were, you know, as individuals until before we had to come together and do our scene.
Yeah. You got to drive a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Cool
Yeah.
or what? Come on, dude.
You know, I was excited. I was like, oh my God, Lamborghini, Lamborghini, Lamborghini. And then I drove and I was like, this isn't like the drive is really low to the ground. It's like real hard to steer. I'm like, oh, flash, man. Yeah, it was cool.
Okay, and lastly, I got to ask you, I mean, this is a very interesting wellness center. Now, do you think after having done this series, would you ever want to go to a wellness center, or have you been to one before?
I haven't been to a wellness center. I would be down to go. I don't know about one that's extreme as this one.
Yeah.
I don't have issues I feel like that are that bad. I don't think. I feel like I would leave with more issues after going to Tranquillum.
Yeah, and microdosing. I mean, that's a whole other level too, right?
Yeah, I don't have to speak to